Hello and welcome to the Build with Bear Workshop. My name is Pat Baer. I'm here to build a model kit and to hang out with all of you. I'm throwing the Bear Cave, the Lego, the Scythe, and the Tier 2 Blue emote. If you are currently a subscriber, you can reply with those emotes. If you're not yet a subscriber, you can just say hi or use other people's emotes or just be a lurker and not say anything. That's also okay. It's a Monday night. I'm here to build a new model kit working on the Exia Repair 2. Mr. Bob is here. Hello, Mr. Bob. Happy to have you here as always, my friend. Welcome. The Exia Repair 2 is a model kit from the year 2009. It is mostly the Exia from 2007 with a few new parts. Basically, they just took out one sprue, gave you another one, and there's some parts we won't use from it. Lashbrook is here. Hello, Lashbrook. I prefer the Exia Repair 2 to the Exia myself, and I prefer the Exia over the 00. I just think it's a nicer, more sleek mobile suit. I don't have a huge opinion on either of those kits, really, but for me, it's that. Because this is mostly another kit with some new parts, it does unfortunately contain a whole goddamn mess of stickers, including a giant sticker for the shield. So they did not go out of their way to make a brand new kit. They goofed on us. You can see better if I do it like that. Yeah. They goofed on us. So, hey, Lord Crashington, welcome. Happy to have you here. Welcome, everybody. We are currently at 31 subscribers. You can see there. The goal is 40. The goal is always 40. I shut up at 40 is what I like to say. So if you'd like to become a subscriber or if you want to gift a sub to somebody in the community. Now, here's a thing that's happening until the 11th. So I believe, or the 12th, I can't remember. But I know it's working right now. If you have never had before PC Game Pass, if you've never paid for PC Game Pass before, if you gift 2 subs in this chat, you will be able to get a code for PC Game Pass for 3 months. It is a trial, and then you have to then pay more regular price or whatever. So this only works for PC Game Pass, and only if you've never had PC Game Pass before. So I'm putting it out there to friends as an incentive to gift a sub to this community so that I can keep doing what I'm doing and we can get even closer to the big 40, which is the number of subscribers I would like to then not shut up. Because while payouts do happen at the $50 mark instead of always having to be the $100 mark, the more money I get through Twitch, the more money I could put into buying more expensive and more unique model kits. This Exia Repair 2 is from 2009, so it's an older kit, but it's not a rare kit. It's not a weird kit. It's a kit that I picked up because it was reasonably priced on Amazon, and I picked it up. I don't remember when I got this. I think sometime early this year. We built the Exia Repair 2 real grade, and I had this one already. So I was like, well, okay, we won't get to this for a while. But I am excited to work on it. The instructions are small because it's 2009 when this came out, as I said. So the instructions are a little small. Lord Crashton says more money, more problems. True. More money, more problems. But also, more money, more model kits. This will be faster if I can hit the buttons better. I'm hitting that sound effect for my own thing. Yeah, Elon. Oh God, all of that. Look, I'm gonna retweet my own tweet. Speaking of Twitter, we'll talk a little about this nonsense. Oh, we're gonna hit the dance button, and then I'm also gonna retweet a tweet, and then we'll get into it. Are rockin'. Rockin' and rollin'. I'm digging that song. All right, we're gonna go to the overhead, and we're gonna start working on. Okay, oops, hey, spoiler. That's the next thing I'm gonna be building. That came. That's actually coming in the mail tomorrow. So my $5, $10 patrons will see a video tomorrow of that Lego set. The box itself, me talking about it, and then on Wednesday, everybody else will see that video. I know that's what was purchased off my wish list. That's the next thing I'm going to be building once this kit is done, because it's coming from my wish list. Anyway, side note, I just got that prepped and then forgot to make it so it didn't show up. We got to put these up. I'm all over the place here already. Great start, Pat. You're killing it, Pat. Let's get some parts here to build ourselves a model kit here. Start by working on the chest, which is very classic for a Gundam kit of this era, to do chest, head, and then, although we are doing chest, head, weapon, which is interesting. That is weird, that the third step in this is weapon. I find that strange, but sure. Almost no English in this, which is very, typical for the time. You're not going to find that. So it's a lot of like symbols and just using numbers and the little jargon they use to let you know, like, oh, you're supposed to go and do the other part of this. Okay. So we need C13, which should be easy to find here. Should be easy to find. 11, 12, 3. These numbers jump all over the place. Why can't I find C13 and... C13 and C14 are the right here. Got it. I'm getting it. I'm figuring it out. Anyway, according to sources, the internal FAQ that will be going out publicly soon from Twitter, apparently, most folks that have the blue check mark that are verified are not automatically at this time going to lose their check mark. Now, you still can get one by doing Twitter Blue and paying the monthly, but you also might not have to. This is a hot off the presses information that is hilarious. So it looks like I might not lose my check mark. I'm not going to pretend to be Elon Musk in order to get removed from the platform. I'm going to ride this shit out. That is the decision that I have made with myself, that I'm going to see it through. I'm going to watch this platform burn down. But I heard that comedy was hurting Twitter. So here's the thing, Lord Crashington. Making fun of Elon Musk is not comedy, apparently. Now, I'm not one to say that it's bullying to dunk on an incredibly rich person who is using their wealth to ruin multiple companies. I'm not saying that that's bullying. But, yeah, I mean, impersonation, you can argue that what people have been doing is impersonation. In my opinion, it's not impersonation because it's very fucking obvious who was doing it. Because they weren't changing their usernames, they weren't parodying. They were literally just writing tweets making fun of him in his perceived voice. And of course they were suspended. Shout out to Griffin Newman, my buddy Griffin. I first met Griffin when he was a teenager taking summer improv courses from a good friend of mine. And now he's a voice actor extraordinaire. He's in fucking Masters of the Universe and kicks ass. Shout outs to Griffin. Love that dude. Griffin Newman, who is now also a voice in Disenchanted, the sequel to the movie Enchanted that's going to be on Disney Plus, and he's been doing podcast appearances to promote that, which is very funny because he recorded all of those before he lost the ability to tweet. Okay, so is this D? Did I grab the right one here? No, this is C. I grabbed the wrong one. Already off to a great start. I want to say we are going full on dig, but I can't remember what they did to dump their user base. Mr. Bob, they tried to they did a poor attempt at monetizing. They tried to charge all their users. It literally is full-on dig. Mr. Bob, you're actually 100% right. That's how they dumped their user base. People were like, I'm not paying you at all, ever. I'm out. Two things hurt Dig. One was Reddit. Reddit ate Dig's lunch because it was Dig but more and specialized with subreddits. But also, then they tried to save themselves by monetizing the people that were sticking by them. To which people were just like, "Oh yeah, no, peace out. I'm out of here. Bye bye." Nobody ever used comedy to punch up at the rich and powerful. Never. But that is the thing. So there was a thing today. Somebody trying to defend, like, look, I can't defend like some of the choices he's made, but you have to understand that that he's a good man, and like, did you know? Like, you don't know Elon like I know Elon. Did you know that Elon like knows close-up magic and does magic tricks? And I was like, motherfucker, of course I know that. Did I know that information about Elon Musk before I read that? No, I wasn't told that before. But did I fucking know that Elon Musk learned close-up card magic tricks in order to not have to have a real conversation with people and to get them to like him? Of course I know that. That man, you could spot that man a mile away and go, that dude knows magic. That dude does a bad job at close-up magic, I assume. Maybe he does a great job with close-up magic. I assume he does a terrible job. But I fucking know Elon Musk does magic. Of course he does magic. Of course he does. And he probably doesn't do it anymore and gets mad if you bring it up. Because that's also Elon Musk. Like, fucking everyone can read this dude from a mile away and know what his goddamn deal is. He's so predictable. He must probably fumbling cards and people clapping anyway. Yeah, who knows? Maybe he was good at it. His biggest trick is getting his hair to return. I mean, not wrong. Hey, I'm John. Also, hi. If Elon Musk did bad streams of close-up magic instead of buying Twitter, a lot less people would be shitting on him. Yes. Here's the thing about Elon Musk, right? He talks a big game and doesn't back up that big game. But there was a time where he was doing things, not saying things, doing things that people were like, all right, well, yeah, Tesla seems like a good company, and okay, well, he's trying to do that thing, and oh yeah, he's working on a plan to do that. Okay, well, yeah, I mean, I like light rail. Okay, like he says things, and you're like, well, if I don't ask any follow-up questions and don't inquire about his actual like plans and don't think about for a second about the man and who he actually is, then I can get on board with some of this shit. Okay. Yeah. All right. Sure. But then you're not liking him in the way he wants to be liked. Which is to say, Elon Musk is a failed comedy person. He wants you to think he's a rock star and hilarious and smart. And if you don't think those things, that he doesn't know what to do because his brain isn't wired in a way that can figure that out. He is the kind of person that, while he might not even be good at math, he does approach the world as math equations where he can solve for unhappiness. He can figure out the formula where he can do certain actions that will get the results that he wants, which is self-worth and happiness. But it doesn't work that way. It doesn't work out the way he wants to, and he gets error messages that way by attempting to do those things. And it doesn't make sense because he's doing the things that should work. He's following the plans, but they're not paying off. And it's not because the plans are wrong, and it's not because plans like that, grand plans don't ever work because humans are humans. It's not that. It's people are getting in the way of it. People aren't getting it. They aren't understanding it. They're fighting it for no reason. They're trolling. Or, worst of all, they're plotting against him. They're working. Like, in what world would Stephen King be mad at Elon Musk? Stephen King writes cool books and is witty and was in a band with other writers. In Elon's plans and calculations, it doesn't make sense that Stephen King wouldn't think that Elon Musk is fucking cool as hell. So something went wrong. But it's not Elon's fault it went wrong. He didn't miscalculate. He didn't try to solve an impossible equation. Something else must have happened. And that's legitimately where I think we're at right now. Is that, like, this motherfucker, like, the cards, like, they're not falling into place. The dominoes aren't following the way he's decided in his head they need to follow or to fall. And this is the only solution he come up with. Like, he bought Twitter because, like, you can't convince me. People, okay, so sorry. The plans are wrong for the Rescue Cave submarine. Yes. And then he was like, I'm going to sue people for this. It's just nonsense. Yes, he's rich because his parents, and then also cockfighting, legitimately, like running a cockfighting ring for rich people. That's one of his first millions. A million came from that. So, speaking of voting him, John, yes, first off, please vote. Please vote. Get out in there and vote. Definitely. You know, as clear as I can, I want to say that, please. Fight for that right to vote and use that right to vote. Please. But also, a lot of people are like, he's doing this. He's going to do this misinformation right before elections, and he's using Twitter to do all that. And that's the idea that Elon Musk bought Twitter and then is taking away the power of the check marks and spreading misinformation directly before an election is the kind of move that Elon Musk wants you to think he's capable of. Yeah, he's not big brained. He's small brained. He's not a galaxy brain. He's cartoon brain. Elon Musk bought Twitter because Hard Drive makes fun of him. And The Onion made fun of him. There is a point to be made. There is a point to listen to and be made that all of this is because The Onion started making fun of Elon Musk. That he started leaning towards the right-wing media terrible satire because they are like, imagine if Elon Musk had because there are stories about him, there are funny stories about him, are him in an Iron Man suit. So there is something to be made for the fact that a combination of The Onion making fun of him and him having children with Grimes and the internet being just pissed about that are the two things that really did red pill him more than just about anything, including his own actual fucking beliefs and nonsense. But don't, we're not getting too deep on that. But yeah. Yes, it would have been way cheaper to just have a super PAC than put the only success he really has, the only successful company he really has, Tesla, into debt in order to show us libs. Yeah. Also, he did think that Twitter would blink. And they didn't. One of his big mistakes was he didn't know that the Twitter executives wanted out, and this was their parachute. He did not anticipate that they didn't want to run Twitter anymore, because why would he ever for a moment think about what he was doing. In the fact that it never occurred to him that they would definitely be like, they wouldn't cave and he would have to buy it. I don't think he ever actually thought that he was going to end up with this. Never care too much what the internet thinks of you. Never being a reason the internet thinks about you. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, they made their money and they're thrilled with it. Yes, also, you can't get a government subsidy for Twitter. So, and now his big plan is to also, according to internal documents, this is also, we don't know this for sure. This is just stuff that people are saying. Can't tell you for sure that this is real or not. But supposedly they are considering the idea of charging everyone to use Twitter. That basically putting Twitter behind a paywall eventually. Like you'll get some access and then you have to pay to continue using it, which will be literally the death of Twitter. Because why spend $8 a month if you don't even have an audience to sell your shit to? Because that's why some people are going to pay for the checkmark, is because they want to sell shit. They want to influence people and make money. And you can't do that if the user base fucks off, and the user base will fuck off if they have to pay to keep using it. Because why would they? Why would they? It's all nonsense. Let's see. I'm not going to talk about this tonight. I kind of teased it a little bit, but I'm not going to get into it. I'll probably save it for Thursday because I want to step back from it a little bit. I will just say, and we're not going to get into it. I'm getting legal documents sent to me that are not actually real, and it's interesting. Again, I want to be very clear. I am not in any trouble with anybody. There is a group that claims that I owe them money, which I do not. And they are now sending me fake things that seem like they're actually legal documents, and they're not. And it's interesting. But I am in the clear, and it's good. And I'm not currently in a civil suit with anybody. But they want me to think that I am, and it's interesting. We'll get more into that on Thursday. I did want to put it out there because I did kind of tease that I was going to talk about it. But I want to give a whole... I want to start with it because I don't know how long it's going to take. And also, I have to do a little more investigating of the most current thing that I got today. Just so you know, if you are being sued in a civil case, former people that used to work for... you don't get solicited. You don't get solicited by people who are like, hey, we want to help you settle this out of court. You don't get solicited by people who used to be part of the court system and now just send letters to people who are being... You don't get... That's not real, just so you know. That's where we're at now. I got to do a little more research about that. Yeah. Dang, gonna have to catch Thursday VOD later then. John, yeah, I mean, again, it's a thing that I'm still investigating a little bit more, but right now, some people are definitely trying to get me scared. It is just that's where we're at right now. Is there are some people that are just really want me terrified, which I am not. So that's great. Here's what I do want to talk about. So I'm going to save that for another stream. Real quick, let's talk about Sick New World. Can I bring this over? No, I can't do that. All right, we'll go back here. Let me save this image to my desktop. If you were unfamiliar, Sick New World is in Las Vegas festival grounds. It's a concert, all day festival that's happening in May. They just announced it. So we're just gonna bring that up right now here so we can look at this shit. So we'll just kind of put this here. It's a new metal. It's a day of new metal nonsense. So we're just going to put this right here for now, just for a little bit. There we go. We'll just put this up here. It's a day of new metal nonsense. Featuring a lot of fucking bands. Look, I said this on Twitter. I'm not going to this. I'm 42. I don't need an all day. I don't need to go to Las Vegas to see these bands. Some of these bands I've seen in concert, and they kicked ass. So, like, I get it. If I was on the West Coast, I would definitely consider going to this shit. Because it seems cool as hell. It's funny because I was just talking with someone, says Lashbrook, about how System of a Down doesn't play that much in America now. Yeah, totally. But they'll be there. You can find them in May. You got System of a Down, Korn, Deftones, Incubus, Evanescence, Turnstile, Chez Levi, Sisters of Mercy. That's not how you say the name of that band. Papa Roach, Death Grips, Mr. Bungle, Placebo, 100 Gex, Ministry, Skinny Puppy, She Wants Revenge, KMFDM, Killing Joke, Spirit Box, Hoobastank, Seven Dust, POD, Orgy, lots of Body Count, of course, Melvin, Seven Dust, like so many names. This is new metal, a whole goddamn day of it. Super Heaven. I don't know. Look, some of these bands I've never heard of, and I don't know what's up with them. I will say I saw before they joined the Limp Bizkit tour, I saw Incubus headline a show, and the middle was System of a Down. And System of a Down fucking kicked ass. Incubus was good, but System of a Down fucking was great. That was an unbelievable show. Sid Christmas, the opener. My friend's brother was the drummer in that band, so that's why we went. And I was like, holy shit. This kicks ass. Because it did. It kicks some serious ass. All right, let's just get this cleaned up here. I went to an Ozfest that had that band, Civil or whatever, as an early part of the main stage, which was very lifeless from the crowd. So I went to fucking Ozfest. I went to Ozfest 99. I tweeted the bands that I saw at Ozfest 99, and I'm going to dig that up. These are just some of the bands I saw between two stages. I saw Black Sabbath, Rob Zombie, Primus with Buckethead. Buckethead was there for that show. System of a Down, Fear Factory, Static X, and I'm 99% sure the band I saw that opened the second stage was Puya, who are a new metal band that sings in Spanish. I'm pretty sure it was Puya, and I do know what that means, so I will stop saying it, but I am aware of what I'm saying. Don't worry about it. We're going to panel line a little bit of this because it'll be kind of covered up. Probably harder to get at. So we're going to panel line now with Gray here. And then we'll cover it up even more. So I saw Ozfest in 1999, and it whipped ass. I got to see Black Sabbath, and they fucking kicked ass. Rob Zombie was cool. System of a Down had a fake palm tree on stage for some reason. I don't know why. But that was part of their set. It was a very cool show, and I saw a lot of great bands. You saw Ozfest 2003, says we're questioning. Ozzy, Korn, Marilyn Manson, Disturbed. Nice. Yeah, Ozfest fucking ruled. So that's what, like, part of the reason why I say I get it is because Ozfest was awesome. And so, like, yeah, seeing these bands would be cool. And I totally understand why people would be amped to see them live. Like, I fucking get it. I'm not going to go to Vegas for it. I'm not going. But I totally understand why people would. And so some of these bands still tour. So it's not the same thing as, like, the emo one that was happening, in my opinion, because new metal has been around, like, continuously. And a lot of these bands do make the rounds and you can see them. So it's a little different, in my opinion. But it's still pretty fucking cool. And I totally get why people are hyped as hell to go to that shit. Good on them. Hope they have a great time, you know. Hope they have a fucking kick-ass time. As you said, you will not see me there, but that doesn't mean I don't think it's cool. Kill switch. Ooh, kill switch engage on the second stage. Hell yeah, Lashbrook. That rules. I haven't seen 100 Gex in concert. I do want to say that, talking about the lineup there. I've never seen 100 Gex live. I would like to see 100 Gex live. Because they're real weird in a way that I'm fully 100% on board with. We have one more component to put on here. We got to put on like part of the arms, but let's just panel line what else we've got on here first, and then we'll clean up with that because we got to use a bunch of markers here for this. So we'll just hit this with that. But yeah, looking at this, I don't know. There's some bands on here I would love to see. Placebo, it's been years since I've seen Placebo live. I would see them again. They put on a good show. Yeah, System of Down fucking kicks ass. They whipped ass. When I've seen them, the 3 times that I've seen them live, they put on good shows each time. So yeah, you know, some of these bands, they're not my thing, but like, you know, it's the vibe, and I get the vibe. I get they're in there. But yeah, I don't know. If I knew somebody that was going to that, like I knew a few people that were going to that concert that got postponed because of the winds, the emo show thing, and I was like, yeah, of course you're into that. Sure. Have fun. Sorry you're stuck in Vegas without being able to go to that because they couldn't do it because of the weather. It's like, oh, that sucks, but yeah, I get that. Let's see. What else are we going to talk about here? This is a rumor. According to WrestleZone, that AEW Fight Forever, the upcoming video game that was supposed to be out in the fall of this year, but who actually knows right now when that's coming out? We don't know. We don't actually know when that's coming out. Anyway, there is a release. There's not a release date for it, but there is a rumor. There's some rumor and speculation. Why is this not clipping in like it's supposed to? The rumor and speculation is that it's going to be day one on Xbox Game Pass. No word on PC Game Pass, but Xbox Game Pass supposedly day one on Game Pass. So if you were pre-ordering it and you wanted to play it on Xbox and you got Game Pass, you know, cancel that pre-order. Because it sounds like you'll be able to. Again, this is rumors. They said multiple sources, but again, this is coming from a wrestling site, so who knows if their sources are as accurate as Game Press, who I have not seen that rumor anywhere else. I don't know why this won't pop down, so we'll just leave it up, but it won't pop down, so and it won't stay in, so that's fun. Maybe trim this down a little. But yeah, that sounds good. So I would say if you are thinking about getting that game, and also that's a really smart thing because I think a lot of people who were on the fence about another Ukes game and didn't like the trailers of this game might give it a chance to play it just on Game Pass. Like I think that's very smart of them. All right, so we got to do 2 of these here, and then we need A14. We'll do A14 and A15. Go on the back of this to clip it in place. Makes sense. We just got to do these shoulder parts here. So A14 and A15. So A14 is going to be on this side. A15 is on the other side. Okay. But yeah, that's pretty good. So we'll see. We'll see. Again, this came from a wrestling website, not a games website. So we don't know for sure. But that sounds good. I hope it comes to PC Game Pass. And if it does come to PC Game Pass, I will certainly do some streams of it. I don't think I will be paying full price for it because I'm a little worried about Ukes and THQ Nordic and AEW's game. It's just like a lot of like... Also, CM Punk is still on the cover because they haven't updated the cover, and I really think they need to. They gotta take him off that cover. He can't be on the cover. $0 is my interest level in a wrestling game. I hear you, Lastbrook. I like a good wrestling game. I don't know if that's what we're gonna get, but I like a good wrestling game. So I hope it's good. I would like that to be a thing, but I don't know. Let's see. As far as the roster being out of date, yes, the roster is going to be very out of date. I mean, Cody Rhodes is going to be in the game. They already did the work on Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes, they've said, is in the game, which is funny. But CM Punk could be in the game, and I think that's fine. He just should not be on the cover, is my opinion. Pat Baer's official opinion on this is that CM Punk should not be on the cover of this video game. Because it just becomes too much of the story, and the story isn't the cool video game y'all made. And they could adjust that bad cover and just move Jade front and center. I don't know. They could do that. She's kind of in the background there. I don't know. They got people who could do Photoshop. They could figure that shit out. Let's see. All right. Now I think is a good time to talk about a manga that I have been reading. It's manga time already. It's Manga Monday, everybody. So I want to talk to you about another entry in the kicked/banished subgenre. The subgenre I keep talking about in the fantasy series that I feel. I don't think Daniel Bryan is on that cover. I can't remember. I don't know for sure if Daniel Bryan's in that video game. So I don't know. I don't remember. I don't have updates on that roster. And who's in it, who's going to be DLC and all that. Because some people will be DLC that are big names. But I can tell you that I have been reading a manga called The Kicked Out S-Ranked Appraiser Creates the Strongest Guild. And is it what I'm saying? Yes. So, this guild, the best guild in the country, the strongest guild in the city, I should say. How did they become the strongest guild? Well, part of the reason they became the strongest guild is because they had an appraiser. You know, he couldn't go out and do a bunch of stuff, but he could appraise people. It wasn't just that he could appraise items. He could see the inherent talent in people. Maybe the talent that they themselves didn't see. He could see their potential, you know, and he could like guide people to where to go. Like somebody who was just like, well, my dad was a swordsman, so I want to use the sword. And he could be like, well, you can do that, but have you ever tried using a spear or magic, or well, actually you have, you know, you'd be great healing people. Stuff like that. So he's an expert of that. Why is this angling weird or whatever? I think I'm doing this right. This doesn't feel great, particularly. But it might not. Maybe it's not supposed to feel good. I don't know. So that's kind of the premise, right? And then when the guild is strong enough, the guy that's always hated and who's in charge of the guild, because they just hired some really important people, and they just kick him out. They're like, yeah, we're done with you. And also because we control so much of the town, like, what does it matter? You're not going to do anything. So then our guy is obviously bummed about that, but he's like, all right, well, I guess the only thing I can do is start a new guild. All right, maybe I messed this up somewhere. Let me see. Oh, this is supposed to be angled up like that. All right, I'm going to pop these back pieces off and swap them and see if that's the reason why this feels bad. It might just be that this chest, these arm parts here feel bad. That might just be the truth of this, that these just like don't fit on and feel bad. Like that's totally possible, but we'll see. Anyway, it's a good, It's fine. In the first few chapters, like, he's struggling still. Where we're at, I believe, 10 chapters in, he's still struggling to like make it all work and get contracts that he needs. But he's finding the right people. He's finding people who are like skilled and that need that encouragement, and he's like giving them the chance that they've always wanted to do the things they want to do. So it's pretty heartwarming. And then he's like, there's some interesting things where, like, it hasn't happened so far that the people that turned him away, that kicked him out, they haven't fucked up so bad without him yet, as much as some other shows in this subgenre of being kicked out. Like, they so far haven't had a lot of reasons to regret. I think it's slowly building to that. We're getting there. We're getting to the you're going to regret this time, but we're not quite there yet. Yeah, I think this is just shitty. I think this is just shitty. That's a shame. Yeah. Yeah, that's how this is supposed to look, huh? Yeah, these feel bad. These feel like they're just going to fall off. Maybe it'll feel better when the arms are on, but right now, this does not feel good. Huh. Whoop, dropped a few frames there. Hopefully that's okay. Ironhide. It's certainly not my birthday. I don't know if it's somebody in... I don't think it's anybody in chat's birthday, but hi, Ironhide. Happy to have you here. It's my unbirthday, but it's not my birthday, so I don't know. But welcome. Happy to have you here. My birthday's in June, for folks that are wondering. Yeah, this feels bad and makes me think I did something wrong, but I can't imagine I did. I think this is just bad. I mean, again, a kid from 2009. It's possible. Oh, okay. Ironhide the Fourth is referencing yes. You're referencing okay, Witch from Mercury. Okay. Yes, that is an element to that episode of Witch from Mercury. You're not wrong. I did not get it. Yes. Thank you, Lashbrook, for clarifying. I believe that is. We do have our unbelievably earnest singing of Happy Birthday. We'll talk about in the second hour. The moment that, because we have context of who she is and what she's been going, what she went through, it's not cringe. It's pretty cringe. But we'll talk about it in the second hour. All right. I just think these art pieces, like, don't work right and are bad, and we're going to move on. Just like, maybe I did it wrong. I don't think I did. I'm not liking how it looks. And we got to move on. We got to move on to build the face. Anyway, the kicked out S-ranked Appraiser creates the strongest guild is fine. I would describe that as a totally fine one of those. I like that it's slow-paced. I like that we aren't focusing as much on the people who are, like, who wronged him, who are now paying the price. Because if he was appraising and putting them with good people, those people would have to leave for it to be that bad. So I think that's fine. They're not getting their comeuppance yet, but hopefully they will. Anyway, it's pretty good. I would say check it out. I want to talk to you a little bit about this. We'll talk about what I have been playing probably in the second hour, and we'll chat in with what you guys are up to and all of that. So this is one of those weeks, and November in general, the month of November in general, is when I realize that some of my friends are capital G gamers. Capital G, Z instead of an S, gamers. Because they come alive with the ideas of Call of Duty and God of War, and to a far lesser extent, Sonic the Hedgehog. So it's two things. We've got the, like, capital G gamers coming out of their shells being like, oh, finally, it's video game time. None of this stuff that I'm actually not interested in, only stuff that I care about, video games. The video games are here. And then, like, to a smaller extent, the, like, Finally, an actual video game I care about. Oh, you didn't know this about me? I'm really into Sonic the Hedgehog games. I'm a Sonic the Hedgehog apologist. I was told by someone that I am friendly with. I wouldn't call us like deep friends, but I am friendly with. And I was told by this particular person, oh, no. I only like the Sonic games. I don't like anything else. I just like Sonic video games. So I'm like, you don't like the movie or any of the cartoons ever or the Archie comics? I'm like, you just like Sonic the Hedgehog video games. And you're like, yeah. I was like, okay, well, you're getting one of those. And I hope it's not the worst thing ever. But that was very surprising to me because I think I like everything but some of the video games for Sonic the Hedgehog. Well, I'll say this. I don't particularly enjoy Sonic the Hedgehog fans. I don't think I like Sonic the Hedgehog fans. But I might buy Frontiers. Okay. A deviant. But I definitely don't love the people that are so obsessed with it that they are freaked out by, like, there's somebody I know. We are definitely not friends, but they make some creative output that I enjoy. And they are so mad that websites are poorly reviewing their Sonic the Hedgehog game. And I mean, they're mad about 7 out of 10. How dare IGN give this video game? Again, I should point out that they have not played the demo. They've only watched other people play the demo and footage. But how dare IGN rank it as a 7? It's just like, oh, I don't know. Look, I liked Sonic Mania. I thought Sonic Mania was really fun. I didn't play Sonic Forces, but I played Sonic Mania and had a good time with it. And, like, I'm not opposed to a Sonic game being good. One of my favorite Sonic games is the one that BioWare made. Sonic Chronicles. The Dark Brotherhood. For the DS. It's an RPG with Sonic characters. It's not great, but it's very good. That's one of my favorite Sonic games. I played the obscure weird Sonic game that only the real weirdos liked. And some Sonic fans apparently fucking hate that game. And I don't know what to tell you. That game's great. That's a really fun video game. But whatever. But yeah. So you got, on one hand, you got the real Sonic weirdos. And then on the other hand, like, I'm talking about people that are mad, that are gatekeepy in a way that if your favorite Sonic thing is the movies, you're not a real Sonic fan. Because that's like a major movie. Like, where were you? Like, what, blah, blah, blah. Like, it's just like, motherfucker, I've bought a lot of Sonic video games. Like, I played Sonic Spinball, and I played, Mean Bean Machine. Like, I bought weird Sonic games. I bought mainstream Sonic games. Did I buy a Sonic game on the Wii? No, I didn't. Why the fuck would I have? I'm not going to buy that Werewolf Sonic game. No way. But I bought a lot of Sonic games in the past, and I will probably buy more in the future. I'm not here to say that I won't buy Sonic the Hedgehog video games again. But damn. The larger point I was trying to make before I got sidetracked just talking about weirdo Sonic fans is sometimes I forget how many of my friends are capital G with a Z gamers. In that I know at least 2 people now. At first I only knew one person, and I have found out further information. I know 2 people that are taking time off from work so that they can play all day or all night into the next day, I should say, God of War. And I liked the first 2 God of War games, and that's it for me in God of War. And they were like good and spectacles and fun. but they were never like call out sick from work or take a personal day to play games. In my opinion, they just never were. So to me, it's just like it feels very bizarre to have people being like so amped for it. But people want big video games. I understand that. I like small video games more than anything. But hey, like I'm gonna play a very big Bethesda game at some point. I want to play that space Fallout game. I want to play that game. That's gonna be a big ass game, and and I'm gonna pay full price for. I mean, I assume it'll be at day one on Game Pass, but I'm still gonna be playing it day one. Like that's gonna be my big ass video game. Like I am big in. I do get big old video games on occasion. It's just not as frequently as some people get. That, and it's just different games. But for me, it's like few and far between. Most of mine are like Jackbox games. So with tomorrow, when apparently Twitch wants me to use a hashtag and be really hyped about God of War, Pog of War, because PogChamp. They want me to be really into Pog of War tomorrow and like use the hashtag and all this other stuff and really celebrate God of War. I'm going to play Jackbox Party Pack 9 tomorrow. So come to that stream tomorrow night, 9 p.m. Eastern, right here on twitch.tv/PatBaer. I'm playing Jackbox Party Pack 9 with chat. So please come and watch that stream because I definitely am not going to Pog of War. That's just not my fucking thing. I have taken time for a game, but I have very flexible time off for a very long time. I think the only time it bit me was when my video card died 3 hours into a game. Oh no, Mr. Bob. And I had to drive into Boston to get a new one. Yes, Mr. Bob, that is awful when you're like, I have taken this time. I'm going to play this fucking video game. This is going to be cool as hell. And then it's just like, oh, wait. Nope. There's a lot of stickers we still have to put on this. Just like a whole mess of goddamn stickers here and some more parts. We don't have to put those like weird inserts, the weird plastic like hologram inserts. We don't have to do that. Stick a bunch of weird stuff in there. We'll wait and panel line this when all of it except for the crown is done because I can work around that. So we'll do that. We need B19, but that has a sticker on it, so we'll do that here. B19 is... I sang that a little bit, and that was not my intention. I'm just conveniently off when God of War is out. Nice, Lord Grashington. That's cool. Yeah, I don't know. Like, look, me talking about these games, these big games like Call of Duty and all that, like, this is not me saying like, oh, you're bad or you're wrong or anything like that. This is not a judgment thing from your friend Pat. This is me simply saying, I don't fucking know, y'all. Like, that's just not what I'm like into. Like, it's just not for me. Like, do I have a PlayStation? No. So it's a moot point in some of those instances. But even if I had a PlayStation, I don't know if I would be like so psyched for God of War. Like, I just don't know. It's just never really been my thing. I hope it's great. I hope people enjoy it and have a good time with it. I did skip Nextlander's like long talk about it because I was just like, I don't really care. I was like, I don't really need to know what's going on with this game. Like, it's just not something that I'm like amped about. I was just like, I think I'm good. I hope they're liking it. I don't know. I'll hear about it more. You never played a God or Gears of War, and honestly, why break the streak? I played some last week. I played some God of War, Gears of War. I played some God of War, as I said. I've also played some Gears of War. Gears of War was fun when I played it, but I also played with people. We played a little horde mode. Got in there and did some stuff. Got some stuff going. All right, I need 12 and 13, which I believe are these clear pieces here. Yeah. Clear pieces. No stickers behind these. Or there is a sticker behind this. This is 13. But yeah, I liked Horde, so I played some stuff like that. Yeah, I skipped a bunch of podcasts talking about God of War over the past couple of weeks. Yeah, like, if you're not into it, or if you don't want spoilers, because some people just don't want spoilers at all. They don't want to hear impressions that might ruin their presumed good time. Like, I get that. I understand. All right, so this is number 13, I want to say. Hard to read with my lights like this. All right, so 13, so this goes on the other side. This goes on this side of the head here. Nice clear over plastic. Or, sorry, clear plastic over sticker, I should say. Yeah, I understand. Sometimes you just want to go in cold, or you just like, not my thing, not interested in hearing about it. Like, the most I've watched anyone play Call of Duty has been Jeff Gersman, and that's because I'm a moderator on his Twitch. And so, I mean, I also like Jeff and like hanging out on his streams. I don't have to be there to mod, because there are other mods that are happy to do it. But I don't know if I'm going to tune into anybody else playing it. One, most of the people that I follow aren't playing Call of Duty. So that makes things way easier because they won't be there for me to watch. And two, which is like not something that I'm really down for. So if I'm not super into it and I'm not there, and they're not, that way I'm probably not going out of my way to find someone who is playing it. I think it's more likely that on Wednesday Jeff is going to try Sonic or God of War. I honestly think it's 50-50 if on Wednesday we're going to see one or the other, or both. He might play both. I don't know. But or maybe he can't play God of War until Thursday, so he won't play on Wednesday. I don't even know. Whatever. Maybe we'll see that on Friday. That's where I'm going to see it, probably. I mean, I might tune in for somebody else doing that kind of stuff. But, yeah, I just don't have a lot of interest in God of War, like this new God of War. And, like, I'm happy that people are psyched about it. Also, it seems like I've weathered the storm. And the people that I follow on Twitter who made Gotham Knights have stopped talking about Gotham Knights, which is awesome. Because I don't want to fucking see anything to do with Gotham Knights, and now I can pretend it doesn't exist, because I think the cycle for that is over. There'll probably be some push for it in like something for Game of the Year, not multiplayer, but somebody will be talking about it in at Game of the Year times. Like, it'll be nominated for something like the Game Awards or whatever. But right now, nobody's fucking talking about that game, and that's great, because every element of that looked bad. Every fucking element of that game just was like a no thanks. Like, nah. And I feel bad because there are people I know worked on it, but like, that ain't gonna make me interested in the game. It's like, oh yeah, well, sometimes you gotta work on stuff, and you might even like what you worked on, but that doesn't mean it's good. It just means you worked on it. But yeah, nothing about that game appealed to me in any way, shape, or form. And then, like, some of that writing was just so fucking bad. So brutal. Oh, God. Just the worst. So yeah, I'm glad that I'm not hearing about that right now. That people have moved on. Stop talking about it. Now we're just going to get through the God of War stuff and the Sonic stuff this week. And then there'll be another game that'll come out that maybe I'll be interested in, but I don't know. Who knows? What just happened here again? Oh, that was me touching my phone by mistake. All right. We are done with the head. We are done with the chest. We got, I didn't put in the neck piece. So we're not actually done with the chest because I have to put in the next piece. Oops. It's not a polycap, it's plastic, so we'll put that in. Now we're done with the head and in the chest because I'm actually doing the thing I need to do. Here. There we go. And There we go. Hell yeah, look at that. Oh, this because of the thing doesn't really stand up well, but you can see it there. Boop. This is coming along good. As I said, the way the chest kind of came together here is weird and I don't like, but maybe when the arms are in, it'll feel better. Now's the part of the stream where I'm going to talk to you for a couple minutes about ways you can help me, your friend Pat, continue to do this stuff, which I think is pretty good and worth doing. So I would love it if you would give me a few minutes of your time as I try to pitch myself a little bit. If you are currently a subscriber, you can throw the Bear Cave, the Lego, the Scythe emote in the chat. Being a subscriber is an easy way to support what I do here. You can be a subscriber with cash money. But you could also, if you wanted to, use your Prime Gaming token. If you have Amazon Prime linked with your Twitch, you get the token. You can use it for somebody every month. Why not use it for me? Jam is here. Welcome, Jam. Also, reminder, you can gift a sub. We have Lord Crashington and Aristophan at the top of the gift sub leaderboards. And for a couple more days, there is a promotion going on that if you gift sub to 2 people, 2 gift subs, you will... and Aristophan's throwing in the blue emote, which I appreciate. Gift sub to 2 people, and you've never had PC Game Pass before, you will get a code for 3 months of PC Game Pass. So if you have had PC Game Pass before, this won't work. It's not adding on. It's a 3-month trial, so you've had to you can't have it before. Gift 2 subs, you get that. So it's basically $10. You get 3 months of Game Pass on PC. So see if that's something you want to do, because also gifting a sub not only would help you, it helped me. You also help somebody else in the community not have to see ads and be able to hang out, which would be nice. And we could maybe get my subscription number back up towards 40, because we're at 31, which is okay, but it's not 40. We like the numbers to go up around here. There are other ways to support what I do here. I have a Patreon at patreon.com/PatBaer. So go and take a look there. See if there's something over on Patreon, the $1, $3, $5, or $10 tier. If one of those tiers works for you, because that would be great if it did. If there was something there you were like, oh yeah, Pat, I'm into it. I'm joining the Patreon right now. See if there's something you'd like. And a reminder, it's rolling subscriptions as of a couple months ago. So if you join today, you won't get charged again until December 7th. So you get on the monthly. Instead of the 1st, it's now rolling for new patrons. Let's see. Also, youtube.com/PatBaer. Subscribe if you haven't already. I just put up a video today. A brand new video went up today. There'll be a new video up on Wednesday. There'll be a new video up. There'll be 2 videos up on Wednesday. And then also a new video up on Thursday that I have not recorded yet. I am planning to do a video about this here part separator, the official Bandai part separator. I'm making a video on that, and that'll go up on Thursday. So jump into my YouTube. It's the best time because I'm making good shit on my YouTube. So check that out, youtube.com/PatBaer. Subscribe there for free, obviously. Maybe become a member. $2 a month, you get my Wednesday videos on Tuesday. So tomorrow, you'll get access to a new video. I mean, it's cool, right? And then also one-time donations, because those are all monthly ways to support me on YouTube or Twitch or Patreon. But you can just do a one-time if you're just like, hey, Pat, here's a couple dollars. Buy yourself a model kit or put this towards your next purchase. And everything I make through, which is Coffee and PayPal and Stream Elements, monthly donations, and everything I make through YouTube, which also includes AdSense, so watching my videos helps as well. Patreon and Twitch all goes into a fund, and I buy model kits with money from that fund. This kit right here, the Exia Repair 2 that I'm building right now, I could not work on this without your support. I bought this from funds, and I really appreciate it there from those funds, so thank you very much for that. Now, if you want me to not go to my backlog for future builds, and instead you want to decide exactly what I'm building, like the Lego set that an anonymous person purchased for me that is arriving tomorrow, I believe. Well, you can jump over to my Amazon wish list and buy something there. If you buy something from the wish list, guess what, friends? You buy that wish list item, and it jumps the queue. I make a dedicated video about it, and it becomes the next thing that I build. And I don't go to my backlog. I instead buy something that you've paid money for me to build. I've got Lego sets, inexpensive kits and more expensive kits, model kits, Pokemon kits, a few other things here and there, inexpensive things, very expensive things, things that are like wildly expensive, but would all be cool things to build. I think everything on that list is a cool item that I would love to build. And then a very expensive kit at the bottom, and then some gear as well. Some gear that would be helpful to have that you could purchase just because you want to see what's up with that. Including a new video capture card, external video capture that's better than the one I'm currently using. I would love to upgrade to a better device than I currently have, and that's on sale too right now. It's way cheaper than it was. So I don't know. Take a look at that. You get a coupon, save 5% on it, which is nice. But yeah, you can buy something on wish list. There's alternatives to that. I have a throne wish list, which you can buy from, which is different, has a little bit of a different selection, much more curated over there, over on a throne. And then, sorry, scratching. And then you could also go to USA Gundam store and buy a gift card and then send me a DM on Twitter, because my DMs are open, with that gift card code if you want to support me and you don't want to buy from a wish list, but you just want to get me a gift card code, which means I would have to buy from USA Gundam store. You could just do that. Be like, hey, buy from this model kit shop. A way to support me for free is to join my Discord. We just had a new person pop in last night, which was nice. I post build photos at the end of every stream. People post stuff they're working on. The Discord is lovely. You join that. Couple video links for you to check out. As mentioned, today I have a new episode of Pat Baer's Anime Club up, and I would love for you to check it out. I'm recommending on Pat Baer's Anime Club 4 shows this season, one of which I'll talk about in a little bit. And I would say that only one of them is super in your face advertised. You're everybody's talking about it. And there's a few other ones that I think are closer to hidden gems, but all very good. And none of them are isekai, because the last video I did was all about the isekai this season. John says, a little late on emote, sorry. No problem. Don't worry about it. And then Do You Remembaer, my ongoing video series where I do hasty research and then try to tell you about a thing that I was checking out. I did it on a lovely voice actress and musician named Minami Takayama, who you may know as the voice of Detective Conan. Fun story about her. She was briefly married to the creator of Detective Conan, the manga. They were briefly married for a little while, and that's weird. I don't know. They got married for a bit. That's strange. This is a strange thing that happened in this world. It's like the voice of the lead of the thing you are most known for. And the guy that created it got married for a minute. A couple of years, I think. That's just a weird fact in her life that I talked about on that video. So check that video out. All right, I am going to talk about some anime, and we're going to move on to build the weapon. We're going to work on the shield blade gun, which I don't quite know why we're building that next. It doesn't make any sense to me to build that before we build an arm, but that's the instructions. We'll go by that. Before I start talking about some anime for you, I do need to drink some water, and we do need to dramatically transition back to the overhead, which we will do right now. Dramatic transition. Let me check something real quick here. Sorry. Just want to see here. Okay. And, oh, nice. I got a like on a... Sometimes I get likes on old tweets that are me promoting this very thing. And that always feels weird to me. When people are like, oh, I like this tweet where you're promoting your building and you're working on the Zabungle kit. It's like, oh, okay. I mean, you can like that. It's weird that you did, but you can. I'm not saying you can't like old promotional tweets for streams that already happened. I always just think that's a little odd. Anyway, let's talk about some anime while I work on this model kit, right? Ironhide the Fourth did come in with the joke that I did not get, saying happy birthday to you, which is a reference to this most recent episode of Mobile Suit Gundam, The Witch from Mercury. Look, there's a lot, there were some fucking killer fights in this. There's a killer duels going on here. That were totally rad. So we had some rad duels. We had some heartfelt moments. We had some intrigue. We've got Prospera. And so we're setting up that Alon is like, I'm challenging you to a duel, and if I win, I get your Gundam, because you're not well suited for it. We found out that he's an artificially, they don't use the term new type, but hey, guess what? He's a fucking new type. He is an artificially created person. Okay, so I need C3, C19, and C20. So we should find all those parts there. C3 is here. Great. Well, we found the person who is responsible, who's also a survivor of the Earth Massacre. And she got forced to work for the company she's working for. And it's like, why are you making Suletta pilot a Gundam? And then she's just like, well, how many other test subjects there were before Alon? Meanwhile, Ghoul, our good friend Ghoul, is disowned by his family. And the Earth House is working on a thruster pack for Ariel to aid Suletta in the duel, which is a smart move. That's a good use of your new friends to help you out in that shit. All right, so it's got to go this way. It's that way. All right, great. C19 and C20, great. Making this happen, friends. While I talk, trying to build and talk about this anime. Let's see. During a checkup, hey, guess what? Alon is actually a body double of the real Alon, and surgically altered to look like him. What the fuck? That's weird. What's going on? There's more shit going on, right? Layers. New information. Anyway, Suletta sings the birthday song for him over the PA. And, like, is it cringy? Yes. Is it sweet because she's a person who is not really connected with other people before and is kind of, like, really lost on how to make interpersonal relationships work? Yeah, I mean, in that context, it's genuinely sweet and lovely that she's trying her goddamn best to connect with this dude. That's nice. I like it. She's trying, and we around here can appreciate giving it a go. Let's see. On the day of the duel, Suletta's like, all right, well, here's my condition. If I win, I get to learn more about you. So then they duel, and basically, like, it's not as one-sided as his duel with Ghoul. It is definitely more back and forth, and is not an easy win for... things are not going easy for Suletta either, because the way he fights. I can't really describe this fight particularly well. That's not in my wheelhouse, but I can tell you it was animated fucking incredibly well. If you're not checking out this show, you should, because it fucking kicks ass. It's just the music is great. The animation is very fluid and fast-paced, but you can still see and tell what's happening, which I think is very important for this kind of a thing, is to be able to understand and not get lost in the fights. I think things are still clear and understandable, which is great. And then, okay, so Suletta ends up coming out. Suletta kind of goes into the zone at one point. Like, things get a little weird, and then Alon kind of has a strange vision, and it gets kind of like meta, and I don't not meta, but like odd. It gets weird. Things get a little weird. And then the next day, Soletta's like, all right. I should say Soletta comes out, the victor, and then Alon is like, hey, okay, let me tell you a little about me. And he talks a little bit about who he is and some memories he's had of like a birthday or something. Like there's something. And like, all right, she's getting a little bit to know him. And then next day she's like, okay, I'm excited to learn more about this dude and get to know him better. But Peel Technologies, Peel, they're preparing to get rid of Alon because he failed, which is fucked. Obviously, that's fucked. Because it's just like, okay, well, even if he is completely and utterly disposable and you don't give a shit about him, didn't you spend a bunch of money? Isn't that just a waste of money for him? If you're just like, well, he lost one match against someone who seems unbeatable, so fuck this dude forever. It just seems short-sighted. It had to be at least somewhat expensive to bring into this world, even if you take into account that they're trash. It still seems wasteful. All right, let's get more of the shield done here. Pop this in there, and then this goes here. Oh, I gotta put this like this. Oops. There we go. All right, now we've got the gun sword. The first half of the gun sword is, or it's our gun sword shield is now connected, because this is where it will go in the hand. And then it can switch around and be different ways of doing it. And now we just have to finish the blade part. It goes in the bottom here. All right, then we'll talk about Beast Tamer. This episode felt like, all right, well, the way they're timing it out, let's just get to it. Let's get to the next part here, because we're kind of flying through the manga. As somebody that's read the manga, I could say. So in the last episode, fucking kicked ass, where the heroes party was like, hey, we want you to rejoin, and he was like, no, and they end up getting into a fight with Tanya and Rain and what's her name? Kanade. So they won that fight very easily, very handily, but they're still going to go ahead. Rain is like, I'm going to help you get the shield that you need so you can help defeat the Demon Lord. And they're like, haha, yeah, you are. Okay, well, let's... He's like, no, you're not going. It's just going to be me and my companions. We're going to go do this. We'll meet you in town and just give it to you. Because we don't need it. You need it, but we can't trust you. Which is good for him. That's good. So... They spend some of this episode just like lost in this woods, as the name suggests. It is tough to find out where you need to go in this place, so they're dealing with that. And eventually, we have our some minor Deus Ex Machina that there's a spell happening that is kind of giving them false illusions, and then they keep ending up not sure where to be. They don't, and they keep getting lost, and they're trying to find this shield. So it ends up that, don't worry, Tanya knows magic to just make this happen. Okay, so here's the blade, the shield blade, and then eventually it will flip around, just turn around, and then that'll be that. Just moves around. Pretty easy, the gun blade. We'll panel line this right now while we're talking. So anyway, turns out all this is being controlled by a fairy. There's a fairy village nearby, and a fairy even among the ultimate species, this is very rare. They rarely appear before humans, but she's like, get out of here. And Rain's just like, hey, look, I just want to talk to you. We don't mean you any harm. We're on a mission. We just have to talk. And she doesn't want any talking. She wants fighting, but she can't really do much anyway. And eventually, Rain wears her down enough for her to agree to talk. And then it's just like, okay, so we need this. She's like, fine. We made a deal with the last hero that if someone came and asked for it, we would give you the sword of the shield of truth. Here you go. Now get out of here. And that's it, right? We're done. Great. We got the thing they needed. Didn't have to fight anybody. Everybody wins, right? No. Because Rain is just like, something's up with this girl. This elf is in trouble or something's up. I'm not sure what it is, but she seems nice and I can't leave it alone. So he asked, and then after a little bit of a pep talk, she says, hey, a Shadow Knight from the Demon King army kidnapped my sister because the Demon King wants me to remove the barrier to my city, which would put people at risk, and I don't want to abandon them. But also, the elves are like, well, it's you and your sister's fault for leaving the barrier. We're not going to go rescue her. So she's at a loss, and she doesn't know what to do. But don't worry about it, everybody, because our boy Rain is like, well, I understand why that's tough for you because the Shadow Knight nullifies all magic, and you only know magic. But don't worry, we got this. So the next episode is going to be Rain and one would assume mostly Kanade, because she's the physical fighter, just beating the shit out of a Shadow Knight and saving a twin fairy. And yeah, keeping going. Keeping the nice guy Rain doing nice stuff, helping people out thing. It continues. Got our sword blade over here. And we'll keep working on that too. Let's start working on an arm. I don't think we're going to get done with the arms here, but we'll get some arm done here. Because we do have stickers to build. Got some stickers to put on the arm piece here. So we need E8 for this. We'll get that. As I said, this kit has a lot of stickers to add in. And the last anime that I want to talk about tonight is Management of a Novice Alchemist. This was I think a pretty fun episode. So Sarasa is our alchemist who is out in the frontier, and she was emboldening members of the town to make crafts that she could help sell, with the idea that it would bring in more money to the town and maybe attract more, because some of the items she makes are for hunters and gatherers, basically adventurers. But she's like, I also want to make things for people in town to make their lives easier and better, because that will just make the town better, and then I will be able to sell more things, because it's a very capitalist anime. Anyway, so more hunters and gatherers are coming to town because the townspeople have more money to spend on hunters and gatherers, because they are selling things in the capital now. And they're also, her alchemy shop is doing better, which is good. This sticker just does not want to go where I need to go. I'm just beating the shit out of it, trying to get it right. There we go. That's where it needs to go. Good. Got a sticker in there. I'm going to put a clear piece of plastic over it anyway, but try to get it right. And then we need one of these. Yes. Here. So let's see. Okay. A rare ingredient is discovered in a lake, Marson clams, and then Saras is like, well, look, only the female clams are actually worth any money, and you have to be an expert to be able to tell them apart, so it's not really worth the trouble. But then you find out, wait, clams are edible, so the ones that we don't need, we can cook. And so they're like, all right, let's go get some clams. Sarasa finds she and Loria go, and Iris and Kate, the basically indentured servants at this point, They all go, and the idea is they're going to go get some clams and make some money, and then also cook up some clams otherwise. Sarasa finds a baby flying fox monster, and the flying fox is just going to hang out for a little while, which is fun and cute. And you're like, oh, do we get ourselves a little animal sidekick here? But I don't think that's actually going to happen. Just a fun friend to have, because it's nice to have fun friends. Let's see. Oh, so then they get attacked by this big eel monster, and then it's invulnerable to weapons. And then it also has electric magic with paralyzes, so it's like a big deal, and it's going to be fucked up. Then we have a new thing. We've seen this alchemy necklace before. Cyrus's alchemy necklace that Ophelia, her master, made. And you're like, that's weird. Why is she freaked out? Why is things getting weird there? Well, apparently, which makes a lot of sense in context of what we know about her, Sarasa has just too much goddamn mana. She just has like so much mana that it's hard to control. So the necklace was actually to make her control her power. So her power's going out of control, and luckily it just fucking kills that big monster. Like she makes like a typhoon out of magic, and it just wrecks that monster. And then also knocks a bunch of unharvested clams out of the lake. So then they identify which ones are the ingredient they need. They can make some money. And then they also Laurel makes a big clam chowder, and then Arsu barbecues the big eel monster. And then the flying fox returns to its mother, and maybe we'll see more of that flying fox. I don't know. I don't know, because I've not read any source material from this. I don't know if there is any. I need A11 before I can put this together. But yeah, wrapped up pretty nicely. We don't get a lot of like to be continues on this thing. We get a lot of like, hey, let's just get to it. What's the next thing? A lot of it's like it ends with like how much money she still owes or what her profits are or whatever. Because again, it is a pretty money focused show, which I'm not super against anyway. It's fine. As I said, the last episode felt maybe a little too capitalistic for my liking, but it's still a cute show. It is in the cute girls doing things subgenre, which I enjoy. I do enjoy that subgenre. Alright, so this looks right. Yeah, I think this is right. It goes like that. And then this goes in here. This is fun because I'm like, I don't know if I'm doing this right. Sometimes you just don't know. I think this is right. I think this will be the back of the arm. Yeah, so that's the front of the arm. And then this goes like that. Hooray. So that's all the anime that I'm watching right now. As far as video games go, I have been playing a bunch of Marvel Snap. I'm still playing Marvel Snap. Yesterday I played some Jackbox with some friends, which was very fun. I enjoyed that very much. Playing some Jackbox Party Pack 9, which we'll be playing tomorrow at 9 p.m. Eastern. Reminder to come check out that stream because it will be very fun. You'll have a good time. But that was going really well. Yesterday I did play some Dungeons and Dragons. My main crew met yesterday, and that was very nice because it's been a little while. We had to end the session a little earlier than we normally would, but that was still very cool. Yesterday was a busy day because I played some games and some D&D and also worked a shift of customer service. But it was a Sunday and actually a pretty easy day because mostly it was people being like, do you think my package will get here tomorrow? And then me being like, no, probably not, because it says Tuesday or Wednesday, so probably not. It's like, oh, well, FedEx says that it was out for delivery. I'm like, well, FedEx is wrong. I don't know what to tell you. It'll get updated again. It's not out for delivery because it's a Sunday. It's just their automated system isn't good. I don't know what to tell you. FedEx is not great. Don't use FedEx for that kind of stuff. I don't think. If you are a worrywart about when you're getting stuff, because you need to be there for it to be delivered, I would say don't use FedEx because they go on there like, well, it's been this many days, so it should be being loaded onto a truck. Even if it hasn't been loaded onto a truck, it'll say it is, and then it'll eventually get updated and be like, oh, it's not. What? Why would you think it is, dummy? It's very fun. What are y'all playing? What are you watching right now? Any movies or television or YouTube channels that you were like, this is my favorite, this is my jam right now, or video games you're playing? Now is the part of the stream where I hear from you, the chat, about what y'all are up to and into, because I like hearing that stuff. So let me know. Is there any other games or things that I'm playing right now? Lord Crashington is in Water 7 arc of One Piece, which is going places. The Water 7 arc fucking does go places. You're not wrong. It is not a filler arc by any means. There's some drama in that arc, so enjoy that. I do remember liking that arc. So yeah, hell yeah. 38, great. I see why they rarely have money. Yes. Watching What We Do in the Shadows, says John, playing Xenoblade Chronicles, and leaving for Tokyo in 12 hours. Hell fucking yeah, John. Enjoy Tokyo. That rules. Is this work or honeymoon? If you don't mind me asking, you don't have to answer if you don't want to. But enjoy Tokyo. Pro tip, buy travel packages when the country is closed. John says it's a honeymoon. Well, John, have a fucking great time. I love that. Thank you for sharing that with chat. That's awesome. I hope you have the best goddamn time. I have never been to Japan. Would love to go. But yeah, enjoy Tokyo, and I hope you find a lot of cool stuff, a lot of busy stuff, a lot of fun things, and if, like, a lot of people really love being fully immersed, and some people find out that they don't love that the immersion doesn't actually work for them, and they need a touch of home. If you need that, if you really do need that, you could probably even Google it now just to be safe. Find out about if there are any where you're staying or near you, international hostels often have like expat nights, like expatriate nights, and locals who are from other countries, often Western speaking countries, like do stand-up shows or poetry things, or just like hangouts. Like, it's an excuse for a bunch of people. And like, as I said, some people love being immersed in that shit. Some people love like discovering all this stuff and figuring out things and just seeing things that feel very different. But sometimes they, you want a little touch of home. And so some of that might be something that like appeals to you and might be worth checking out. But that is often like, yeah, it's often like run by like locals who are from other countries, often Western countries, who are just looking to like do something for there. Look into that. Thanks for the recommendation. No problem. Yeah. I have some friends who they stayed in an international hostel, and they were in Japan for a month and a half, and about a month in, they just like started going to these like meetups, and because they were just like, I don't know, we just kind of wanted to like, and also a lot of expats who live there who are like stand-up comedians or improv comedians, like a lot of their material was about like being a Westerner in Japan, so it was very relatable. But also they got to meet people, like they were getting recommendations for people that had like already been there or like came every year or worked in the area. They like met a few people because basically like they met a bunch of Americans who were all just like, well, where are you from? And then they would say, and then they would yell and they go, you're from Philly? Okay. And then they would like point at somebody and go like, well, he's from Pennsylvania. That's as close as we can get. Or well, he's from New Jersey. Do you want to go talk to this guy from New Jersey that I don't know, but I know he's from New Jersey? And they would like try to like connect and be like, all right, well, you talk to this person, okay, which is very fun because like yeah, sometimes you can just like be so psyched about experiencing this new thing. But yeah, like you said, a nice mid vacation break, yeah, evening, you know, like I don't know, it might be something. Hell. One of those popular things to do in the Netherlands is go see Boom Chicago. People travel to, you know, they're going to the Dutch Netherlands. They're seeing all this stuff, right? They're going to experience all of this. And one of the most popular things to do is go see like short form and often musical improv in English done in Amsterdam. Like that is one of the like the biggest, coolest things to do in Amsterdam is go see Boom Chicago, which was founded years and years ago by some Chicagoans, and is not affiliated with like Second City or anything, but like is adjacent to all of it. But a lot of people, Key and Peele, that's kind of where the two of them met, was doing Boom Chicago, because they like knew each other as like Chicago dudes, but didn't know each other until they like lived in Amsterdam and performed constantly with each other. I did not see that when I was in Amsterdam, so it was either after I went or I wasn't cool. John, I mean, it might have just been something like you didn't hear about. Like, I should be clear. As someone that loves comedy, I don't think that Boom Chicago is like a must-see that you've got to see it, because it's that style of comedy, a short form comedy that I don't particularly love, which is you get your bit and you do your bit. Like, we're going to play this game and I know 15 jokes or 15 bits I can do in this like tag game that are going to be funny and kill and like will work. And I'm going to do that. It's been there for 29 years. So it's definitely a thing when I visited. Yes, it's an institution at this point. But like my buddy Becky Drysdale did it and loved it. Amber Ruffin from Late Night with Seth Meyers, but also her own show, the Amber Ruffin Show, did Boom as well. It is again an institution, but also like just because it is an institution, I don't necessarily think that it's like the funniest shit or like worth going to, but it is a thing that like a lot of people say like, oh, if you want something in English, you can go there and check it out. I mean, there's obviously a lot of English speaking in the Netherlands, but especially in Amsterdam. But some people just need that touch of home. They just need a little bit of that, and I get that. When I was in, well, no, this was Ireland. Yeah. When I was in Ireland, I was so psyched to be in Ireland. And then when I was in Wales, by the time I got to Wales, I think I was kind of done with the trip. Like my heart wasn't really in it. And I ended up with some people. I was a teenager at the time, so I wasn't going to go to like a pub or anything. But I went with some friends to an arcade, and they had a lot of import arcade games from the U.S. and we just played import games just because like that felt like playing like I played Area 51 in Wales, and that felt like home in a weird way. I think I was homesick at the time. It had been the longest I'd ever been away, and I was definitely feeling some stuff, and I wasn't loving the people that I was traveling with because it was a student group thing. It was the People to People Student Ambassador Program. And we went to England, Ireland, Scotland, and Wales. And I did not have the best time by the time I got to Wales. I was not loving it. If only you could have played Revolution X in Wales. I know, right? London was cool. We saw Fiddler on the Roof. And that was really fun. We went to Parliament and witnessed Parliament. That was neat. That was fun for touring. The smog was not good for me at the time. This was 97, I want to say. 97, because I wasn't 18, so it was 97. When I was in London, I saw Spinal Tap perform live. Fuck yeah, John. That rules. I loved Ireland. I liked Scotland a lot. We only really saw London in the UK, and then or in England, and then yeah, Wales was weird because we instead of staying in hotels or hostels, we stayed with families, and the Welsh kid that was my age, because it was supposed to be like part of this thing is you get to meet the people and you get to tour. It's the people to people student ambassador program. It's the idea that like young people meet other young people, then we'll understand each other more culturally, and it's a cool idea. It's just that the kid that I stayed with didn't want to like talk to an American because he was a nationalist. The official language of Wales is the official language of Wales is English. There are a couple schools in when I was in London, the Queen was alive, and I'm just as jealous. Says Dan the Bard. Or Dan the Brad, not even the Bard. You're the Brad. Thank you, the Brad. Oh, you read that as Olive Queen, like Fairy Mercury. No, I believe Dan is saying that Dan was fairly recently in London, but not so recently in London that the Queen had passed. I believe that is what Dan is saying there. No, what was I saying? Oh, yeah, so the kid I was staying with went to a Welsh-only speaking school and didn't like to speak English at home and just did not want this American nerd hanging out because the one thing he thought I would like was muscle cars because he liked muscle cars. And I was like, dude, I drive a Mercury Sable. I am not interested in cars in any way, shape, or form. So he was like, well, there's an arcade. And I was like, fuck yeah. So I played Area 51 and I called, I was like, I got my listing and I was like, hey, do you know this person? Because the kids that were staying with that person, I liked the two guys that were staying with that family, and so we called them, and those guys didn't know each other that well because the other kid didn't go to the same Welsh only school, but he was way cooler for me and the guys I was getting along with, and then we just played arcade games. They didn't have DDR. God, I wish they had had DDR. But they did have in that arcade. They did have Area 51 and a couple other things that I remember playing and enjoying quite a bit. All right, so I gotta pop this open. I'm just gonna put this weapon on, even though we don't have the rest of this kit done. Let's do it like that. Hell yeah. There we go. Now we got our shield that has also got a cool blade on it. We got some stuff done on this kit. Not a lot, but we got some of it done. Imagine doing a foreign exchange to the U.S. and you get to places with real fascist and racist family. Yeah, I mean, so the thing I will say about this kid is, I don't know. I don't know if he grew out of it. I just know that he was pretty nationalist because I think he was nationalist because he was going to that school, not that he went to that school because he was nationalist. I think going to the school was definitely affecting him. At the time, I just thought he was annoying because he wouldn't talk to me in English that often unless he really needed to communicate with me. He would mostly just speak in Welsh to his family, and I was like, all right. So I wasn't having a good time with it, but I hadn't really been philosophical about it. Like, I could have really thought about, well, it makes sense because he's going to the school, and I'm sure they're talking about it a lot, and who knows. It was only a couple days, but it was the worst part of that trip for me, was that. The best was all the castles in Ireland. I mean, I went to Dublin and I kissed the Blarney Stone. You gotta lay on your back, you gotta hold the thing, and you gotta lean back because the Blarney Stone. If the wall, like, look, we'll do this. If this is the wall and this is where your body is, you have to lean like this The Blarney Stone is like down here. It's not over in here. Now I don't even know if they let you kiss the Blarney Stone anymore. This was 1997, 96, 97, something like that. I think 97. You can still kiss the Blarney Stone. So you would have to lay here, and then you would have to lean back and hold a bar that stuck out here, and then lean back to kiss it. And it was weird. And I was like, why is that? Why is the Blarney Stone inconvenient like that? But I did kiss the Blarney Stone, and I'm glad I did, because why the fuck not? You know? I'm Irish and English and German. But I was like, I don't know. I think I want to do that. Ireland was fucking cool. That was a cool part of the show. COVID killed the Blarney Stone. Yeah, I'm sure. As I said, I don't know if they let you do it anymore, but I kissed the Blarney Stone and I thought that was worth it. I thought that was cool. I was happy I did. I did not think I would talk about that tonight. Honestly, y'all, I love it when I'm like, I'm going to talk about Twitter tonight, and I'm going to talk about video games, and, and anime and manga, and then I talked about my trip to the United Kingdom as a teen. Was not expecting for that to happen. We are going to wrap the stream up tonight. Thank you, everybody who was hanging out. Thank you for still hanging out towards the end of the stream. We are going to raid. That is how we end every stream. We're going to find somebody doing cool shit out there because we always end with a raid, as it says. Aristofan says, 5 years ago, I visited Stonehenge. I was in a tour that let us go right up to the stones, but we were not allowed to touch them. That's probably for the best, Aristofan. Probably shouldn't be touching that Blarney Stone. But I do think that's rad that you got to go and see it. So let's find a stream for us to raid. And then while I'm finding this, a reminder, tomorrow, 9 p.m. Eastern, I'm playing Jackbox Party Pack 9 with you. Maybe you. If you want to come, I will be playing and Jackbox Party Pack 9, and maybe you can play along with me. Or just hang out. Even if you don't want to play, you just want to be an audience member, you could do that. It's Monday. So we're raiding Mary Kish because Mary Kish streams on Monday, and we love Mary Kish around here. Mary Kish rules. So we're going to go raid Mary Kish, who is playing Signalis, because of course she is. Of course Mary is playing Signalis. So we're going to go give her a raid. Thank you for everybody that decided to hang out with me tonight. I appreciate it very much. I hope you have a great rest of your night. Again, tomorrow, 9 p.m. Eastern, playing Jackbox Party Pack 9. On Thursday, we will continue with this kit, which should be fun. Thanks, everybody, for being here. I hope you have a great time. Right now, Mary is just full screen, and that's fun. So let's go figure out what that is. Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye, 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 goodbye.